What's going on, gamers? So we got an interesting topic here, which I pretty much figured was the case because PS5 kind of gives you the idea of things. But you never know when it comes to what they want to do next generation, what's going to be their day one. Things do change, but I don't think Sony was ever not going to do backwards compatibility support. But we got confirmation here. And it's coming from Moore's Law is Dead, who seems to be talking a lot in the media lately. The Gameverse has a post here. Leak, the PS6 is expected to support backward compatibility with all PS4 and PS5 games, pretty much. Or whatever is there. Like if you go to the PS5, you see enhanced image quality for PS4 games, right? And for PS6, it's going to be PS5 and PS4 games, which is actually good. So you're wondering, well, if that's the case, will PlayStation 6 do something different, though, with the backwards compatibility? Like, if it's supporting PS4 games, will it deliver a better backwards compatibility support quality than PS5 for PS4 games? I'm wondering if Sony's going to be able to do something with that, where also you could somehow benefit with the CPU and the RAM as well. Who knows? I guess we'll find out as time gets closer, but let's talk about this topic first, and then we're going to look at some comments. Well, even talking about comments, you're going to have people come in like this guy right here with the SpongeBob picture saying, what about PS1 and PS2 and PS3? Okay, so first of all, that's actually an important question because I think it's something that needs to be addressed because it's going to keep on being brought up. We know what's going on with PS3. They wanted to put, let me just say this, some PS3 games to be made as a brand new game, a remake or a remaster to resell it. Obviously, you could see that's happening to get its enhancements. And then there was some complaining about the coding of the PS3, the cell processing unit, and it being a problem, which we know after all the videos we've seen now, it can be possible. Sony just doesn't want to do it that way. Now, when it comes to PS1, I think that's irrelevant. What are you going to do to make a PS1 game look better? You know what I mean? It's like, it's already kind of like so old it doesn't matter. That's like me saying, can I get backwards compatibility support for NES games? It's like, what? What is it going to really do? Yeah, there's not much you can do about that. PS2, I mean, maybe. I can understand that, but then even then, what are you going to really do? But when it comes to PS3, that actually makes sense because, like I said, you can max them out. If you're looking at, let me see, a PS3 game playing on PS3, and then you were able to get the backwards compatibility support for PS6, that's definitely going to matter because you're just maxing out the sliders. Hell, even a PS4 could do that because the games are so old, you could easily max out those games. PS5 could easily do it, no problem. So I can understand why people are at least looking for PS3 backwards compatibility support, but that was a problem in the PlayStation 5 generation. So to me, I'm not really worried about that. There's not a ton of PS3 games either, and most of them you could play pretty much. Now, when it comes to PS4 and PS5, that's huge because we're talking about all third-party games on PS4 and all third-party games on PS5, all first-party games on PS4 and all first-party games on PS5. That's the thing that most people are looking for here. That's the most important thing here. I'm telling you, you can still play PS2 and PS1 games. Sony has that on a premium thing. So, I mean, that's kind of there. But thinking that you're going to get some huge improvement with PS1 backwards compatibility, it's like, what are you going to really get? It doesn't really matter, man. So I kind of think that that's irrelevant. PS3 is something that you would hope Sony would want to support in general because that would be something that could be supported also on PS5 and the PS5 Pro. Not that you even need a PS5 Pro to support PS3 games. But I think you guys are kind of getting the point here. So it is good knowing that, you know, that's going to happen, but I don't see why Sony wouldn't do that because they're kind of setting it up and they're improving their system and taking it to another level with PSSR 2 being backwards compatible with any game that had PSSR 2 on it. So any game that is PS5 Pro enhanced is obviously going to get enhancements from the same field as PS5 games for PS6. You see what I mean? Because it's just it's taking a PS5 game that they're making on a base and then seeing that it's getting a PS5 Pro enhancement and then seeing that it's going to get PS6 backwards compatibility enhancements, which are better than the PS5 Pro enhancements. Like, I'm just saying the system aligns together. So, and PSSR is sitting there waiting. So that means that every game that's going to get PSSR 2 support right now and PSSR support are going to get the PSSR 3 support for PS6. Sony already is letting you know that they're building a whole library of only on PlayStation and then getting the third-party support on PlayStation that is closing the gap on PC. Like they're building that system to make it go bigger. I don't see why the PS6 wouldn't have backwards compatibility from my standpoint. Just deductive skilling. You know what I mean? It's like, let's use our deductive skills here. It's like, let me see. It's like, they're setting it up right there in front of you. And then think about this, that if they found a way to uncap most PlayStation first-party games, and they're telling third-party developers right now to uncap their games too, because we're going to get frame generation in the future. So you'll be able to shoot straight into 60 frames per second, maybe because it's uncapped 120 or 80, 90 frames per second, and get PSSR 3 support and native backwards compatibility support for PS6. And that's when you're going to realize that PC does not have that advantage even in that build anymore, because it's going to be something like that. Think about that in the future. I think that that's what's going to happen. Let's go down and read some more comments, but we have to talk about that because I think this is something that's going to pop up more than once. Claudia says, it should literally be compatible with every PlayStation game since the beginning. You kind of have the library there. So like I said, the most important thing is PS4 and PS5, and then obviously PS3 matters too. If you could do that, I think that would be cool. But hey, what are you going to do about it? There's not much we can do about that. Let's just hope that they do that. You know what I mean? Olivia says, PS5 doesn't have any games, so that shouldn't be too hard to have backwards compatibility for. That used to work, but it doesn't work anymore. They're dropping more first-party games than ever this year, and then next year is going to be a ton of more first-party games, and they're all going to be mostly exclusive when it comes to single-player. We know Last of Us 3 is also around the corner. Intergalactic's around the corner. Uncharted 5's around the corner. Spider-Man 3's around the corner. You know what I mean? It's like, that's not working anymore. The Marvel game is around the corner. Soros is about to drop. Sony has too many games. You know, the next God of War is around the corner. The next God of War spinoff is around the corner with Cory Borlaug. Like, I can sit here and tell you, like, no. Do you know how many games are really coming around the corner for PlayStation? It's going to be nonstop here. Wolverine is around the corner. Venom is around the corner. That's already like 10, 11 games. It's like, they're going to have a lot of games to support. And then you look at all the other games that dropped before this generation, and games are going to be dropping fully in 2027, 2028. Like, the games are going to be there, and there's going to be a lot of cross-gen games. Let's just move on with that childish notion, because it doesn't really work. And they're going to be having all Xbox games, and they're going to be getting backwards compatibility support as well. And Money Hats games like Phantom Blade, you know what I mean? I mean, when you really think about it, it's like Sony always has a lot of games on and off. GTA 6 is going to be getting its enhancements too, because that's going to be the place to play till they drop the PC version. First, we need to identify from Rockstar to see if that 3-month deal is actually real. If not, it may be extended to be longer, because who knows how long Rockstar takes to do things. You may be waiting 6 months to 9 months to almost a year to the PC version, though I don't think they want to wait that long. I'm thinking 6 months probably is a good balance. 3 months, that's a possibility. Sony finally copies what Xbox nailed years ago. Fans still beg for PS3 scraps like it's charity. And here's the thing, though. But Sony realizes what's important, though. Xbox has all that backwards compatibility support, and there's nothing wrong with it, but it does not move consoles. And they have no identity for people to care about, because why do I need to wait for backwards compatibility support when I can play all those games max on my PC right now? Whereas when it comes to PlayStation, that's not necessarily the case now more than ever, because Sony is now going back to only on PlayStation. And they're going to have an handheld option too, taking Nintendo's method and just making a more powerful model. So when you really think about that, like I said, with their own upscaler, and they're going to add in frame gen, it takes time, just like DLSS took a while to add in frame gen on that, and then multi-frame gen. Those are fake frames. But the idea is if you balance it enough with the latency reduction, things are going to be fine. And I think Sony's trying to take their time on that with Mark Cerny and Jack over at AMD. So this guy says, so I'll need to buy them again, considering that surely PS6 will be digital only as players choose digital. Why would you need to buy them again? I mean, that's the benefit of sticking with AMD hardware. Plus, with digital license, it allows for games to be more easily forward compatible, because it's licensed not just for the current product, but future products, versus early 2000s and before that were licensed only for that. Yeah, he's right about that. That's true. This guy says, if this is real, Sony finally learned from Xbox, or they just scared enough to copy them. It's not even that, dude. PS5 does the same thing. You can play all games, PS4 games on PS5 with image enhanced quality. There's other benefits on there too. That's why I was saying, like, it's pretty much set up to continue to PS6 and PS7. You can kind of get that point. It's just, why not all games? If it's 1000, it better be able to play PS1 games. Well, that's what it's on the essential for. So, and who knows? I mean, there may be more details to the backwards compatibility feature here. So let me know what you guys think about this. Leave a comment down below. Are you excited to know that all PS4 and PS5 games are going to be getting the PlayStation 6 backwards compatibility support, and then you're going to be getting the PSSR 3, 2 for PS5 games, not just first party, obviously third party games. Every game coming out for the rest of this year is going to be getting PSSR 2 support pretty much, and games coming out next year leading into the PlayStation 6 launch. Because like they said, PS6 could be delayed into 2028. And it may come out at the earliest late 2027. That is still, if you say, if it's a year from to now, no, we're fast forwarding to April then. We still got April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. That's 8 more months in a year. So that's a year and 8 months from now. If it's coming out in 2027, you could potentially be waiting 2+ more years. How many more games are going to be coming out by then? You kind of see what I mean? The list is huge. That's why this is exciting. And I know a lot of people would like it because not only are you getting a backwards compatibility support system that is supporting multiple generations, but you have an exclusive identity that is only there with its own upscaler and frame gen around the corner. The identity is strong. Sony's getting into that Nintendo position and they realize what they need to do, except being kind of like the PC of the console industry where you're trying to get as much third-party games as possible and have the highest fidelity and support on there, as we see with PSSR 2 smoking anything in the console industry. So you can kind of get that idea, the direction that they're going in with this. Let me know what you guys think. Peace out. Have a great day. Keep gaming no matter what platform you're on.